All right, guys, how we doing here? My name is Finn Kenny, and I'm a nutritionist working with fighters, okay? And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story and what I've actually done so far in my life and how I've got into the position that I'm in today. So I currently live in Thailand. I'm in Bangkok, and I've been living here for around a year, okay? Now, before I came to Thailand, I actually lived in Australia for a couple of months. I lived in Brisbane, Australia, okay? And the idea is I wanted to get out there in the world. I wanted to put myself into a position where I had freedom and a chance to explore and do my own thing and essentially just get some life experience. And the plan going to Brisbane, Australia, was to work with fighters online and work with some fighters in person, get a job and build up the social media, the Instagram, the TikTok, the YouTube, everything online on the side, okay? Now, unfortunately, it didn't actually go to plan the way that I thought or wanted it to go. Okay, so I couldn't really get a job. I was struggling massively, and then I decided that it was way too far from the UK where most of the fighters that I was working with were based. And obviously, because I couldn't get any income in and my money was running out. And when I was in Australia, everything was so far apart. Like, people really underestimate like how big that country actually is, especially Brisbane, all right? So what I ended up doing was, I was missing home, I was missing working with fighters, and I needed to put myself in the environment where I could actually work with fighters online and be in the right time zone, of course. So what I decided to do is, because all this stuff wasn't happening, I decided to flow back to England. Okay, and guess what happened? As soon as I booked the flight, I started getting job offers. I started getting managerial roles in gyms, supplement stores, so everything related to where I worked before in the past, okay? So what I did is I've come back home to the UK, and I've started working with some fighters online. I built everything up, okay? And my social media's going pretty well. I'm starting to pick up a few clients slowly, okay? But then I got to a position where I was working in my old supplement store. I actually worked in two, okay? And I remember there was a moment in time when I was in one of these supplement stores. It was actually in Manchester, Arndale. It's the shopping centre it's called. If any of you from Manchester or have been there, you know what the Manchester Arndale is, okay? So I was working in this store, and there was just one day, and it was really quiet, and it was quiet most days because it was a newly opened store, and that's just the way it is. It was a small store, etc. And there was one day, and I thought to myself, I really don't want to do this anymore. I'm just stood here all day, and I'm not improving anything here. Like, my sales skills are good, but I'm capped at what I can do. Your wage, learning, skills, things like that. And in my mind, my social media was going well, and I wanted to really, take it up a notch working with fighters. And obviously working at Holland & Barrett and working a job on the side of my business working with fighters, there's only so much that you can do. You can only do so much with your time. So I just decided that I need to make a change again. I need to move somewhere else. But I was trying to think of where to go. And at the time, I was speaking with a couple of fighters in Thailand, and I remember watching a couple of YouTube videos on a couple of guys on their experience and how they moved to Thailand, and that inspired me. And then I just decided, okay, you know what, I'm going to just try Thailand. There seems to be a massive hype about it. I never really learned much about it, never really, known too much about the culture or anything like that about Thailand. So guess what I did? I just booked a flight to Thailand and came, and I made it work. And my plan was to just literally work online with fighters and work with some fighters within Thailand. I've made it work, and I've smashed it. I've developed myself, and I've took myself to a completely different level. Life experience, finances, everything has worked really good, and I'm in a really good position. Now, I'm still not where I want to be yet. There's still been some hiccups. There's still been some bad moments, but everything is going perfectly to plan in the way that I wanted it to. And that's all because I made the move to come to Thailand and come to Bangkok. And as I say, I came with little money, okay? I didn't even know where to stay. I was booking hotels for like a couple of months, right? And then I bumped into a friend in Cambodia, and Muay Thai fighter, and he needed to change gyms. He needed to move somewhere else from where he stayed, which is currently where I'm staying now. And I've moved into his place, and I've been staying here, and I'm currently here now for another 3 weeks. Then I'm moving to another place in an area called On Not in Bangkok, okay? Now listen, I just wanted to make this video just to let you guys know, if you've got a dream, if you've got something that you want to go after in your life, never hold back, go for it. The worst that could ever happen is you go back home and you try again. You keep trying and you keep trying until you get there, because eventually you're going to make it. But most of the time anyway, you go there, you go with your dream, and you just give everything that you can. You go at it with full force, and you don't have to do that in the first place anyway. So that's all it is. There's no such thing as failure. Go for it and just don't look back, and that's exactly what I want to do. Well, exactly what I've done, and now I'm working with the best fighters in the world, online and in Thailand. I'm chasing my dream, I'm making it happen, and getting one step closer every single day. Now,